As predicted, the disloyalty is already shining through in the Ethan Klein lawsuits, with Denims throwing the Reddit and Discord mods under the bus immediately in one of her first court filings, sacrificing them to the legal corn of the Ethan Klein lawsuit. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is Legal Minds, where we teach you to be your own judge. Already, we are having updates in this case. Now, we've had the multiple cases, obviously, Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron, and we're going to be following those bit by bit. But as I've said, in the legal world, in the legal jungle, it is every man or woman for themselves. Now, many people like to talk about, one for all for one. We're all in this together. We're all part of a big community. And that may be well and good in the realm of feelings or in the realm of streaming or whatever else. But once you're in the courtroom legally, whether you like it or not, these defendants are all in it for themselves. That's why each defendant will need to have their own individual counsel, because ultimately their responsibility to defend themselves falls on solely them. They can't rely on these other people. And I know that maybe these Discord mods, these Reddit mods looked at Denims, looked at Casey Tron, looked at Frogan, and saw these massive legal funds. They saw all this money in those legal funds, and they thought that was going to go to help them as well. They thought that would help their case, that would help them fight back against what they want to fight back against. That's not happening at all. And we have receipts today showing that Denims has already done this. So in this court filing, in this case, of course, TED Entertainment, that's Ethan Klein. I'll just refer to TEI as Ethan Klein, California Corp against Alexandra Marwer Saber, aka Denims, and the DOEs 1 through 10, which are the mods. So this is a joint stipulation granting plaintiff, that's Ethan, leave to serve third-party subpoenas prior to the Rule 26F conference. So what this is Ethan Klein wanted an expedited subpoena against these mods. So he's trying to fast track subpoenaing these mods. And this is not something that is necessarily 100% granted all the time. There are things they could fight back. There are things they could push back against. And this isn't something they necessarily have to agree to. But when you look at it here, when you look at the actual document and you see what happened, these guys talk. So obviously Ethan Klein and the attorneys for Denims had a conversation after Denims was served with a complaint. So Denims received the complaint. The complaint is the list of everything that Ethan Klein is alleging against Denims. They contacted Ethan Klein's lawyers to discuss preliminary matters related to the case. Here's the sauce. The counsel for Klein responded to the counsel for Denims and explained their intention to file an ex parte application for expedited discovery. So faster than normal discovery against Reddit and Discord for obtaining personal information. So we're talking names, emails, whatever information that Reddit and Discord have, any information they have, they're going to turn it over of the H3 Snark mods prior to the conference of the counsel under Federal Rule Procedure 26F. The counsel for Denims responded to the counsel for Klein to set up a time to confer. They agreed to confer on July 1st. On July 1st, the counsel for the parties conducted a telephonic meet and confer regarding the ground. So they talked on July 1st. The counsel for Denims agreed to their request to seek expedited discovery from Reddit and Discord to obtain their personal identifying information, to name them in the complaint and serve them. They've agreed to enter into the joint stipulation to grant Klein leave to serve these subpoenas. So there is no objection from Denims whatsoever. So Denims, their counsel had the ability to object to this. They had the ability to fight back against this. They made a decision. They elected to say, we are not going to raise any defense on behalf of the Reddit or Discord mods. We're not going to defend them in any way. We're not going to push back against this. We're not going to say, hey, let's wait till after we do this conference, which is when we would normally have discovery. Normally discovery would happen later on, right? No. Let's let them get all of their personal identifying information. Let's let them make this happen now. And I think this may be surprising to a lot in that camp, in the Denims camp or in the mod camp or et cetera, whatever that is, who thought they were going to be this one big team fighting against the evil villain, Ethan Klein. That's not how it's working. How this is going to look is more like a sinking ship. It's more like a ship that just took a full broadside from the USS Ethan Klein. It's taking on water. It's going down, and they are fighting over the one leaky lifeboat off of the ship. Not to mention that leaky lifeboat is likely going to be captured by Ethan Klein in the end. It's every man and woman for themselves. And as we see this lawsuit proceed, you're only going to see more of this. You're only going to see more instances where these parties are at odds with each other, where they're pointing the finger at each other, where they're saying, hey, this person did this. No, this person did this. This is when the information is going to really come out. This is how the parties break apart. They fight. When they get pressure on one party, the other ones are going to break. Because if one mod, for example, says, hey, I don't want anything to do with this, I want to get out of this, they try to bargain with Ethan Klein, they try to get some sort of settlement with Ethan Klein, this is when the knives come out. This is when people start stabbing the others in the back willingly, just to try to escape this, just to try to get out of this. And this is going to escalate as we go into discovery. We haven't even got full communications yet, full emails, full messages. Once those things come out, it's only going to get worse, because discovery will go deeper and deeper and deeper into the communications between those parties. So as this goes forward, I expect it to be very bloody, very messy. And I certainly do expect that some of these mods are going to jump ship. And some of the mods are also going to point fingers back at the content creators, back at Denims, back at Frogan, back at Caseytron, and possibly at other content creators. It's possible if other ones were involved here. We mentioned Sean the Black, and of course there's the great white whale of Hassan, right? That Captain Ahab Klein is kind of aiming for there. It is possible, very possible, that they could point fingers that direction as well. And that's when things get more interesting, because as we're seeing now, Ethan Klein is fully open to filing new lawsuits, as he's filed a new lawsuit today, or thinking about filing a new lawsuit today against another person on Twitter, on X. We can only hope to see more interesting things as this goes on. But of course, we'll cover all of it on this channel. Until next time.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?